What if I told you that in 2025, the US is rolling out the red carpet for travelers from certain Asian nations, letting them enter without a visa? Why these countries? What's so special about them? Some are economic giants with deep ties to America, others have cutting-edge security systems, and a few have surprising stories that most people don't know. But here's the real question. What's in it for the US? Stay tuned, because we're diving into the 10 Asian countries getting visa-free access, their hidden gems, and why this move is a game-changer for America. If you're from one of these nations, shouldn't you be planning your US trip already? Are you loving this deep dive into global travel and politics? Hit that subscribe button and like this post to join our community for more eye-opening stories like this one. 10. Brunei. Imagine a country where gold-plated mosques gleam under the sun, and oil wealth means most citizens live tax-free. That's Brunei, a tiny kingdom on Borneo's coast, smaller than Delaware but richer than most. With just 450,000 people, Brunei sits on massive oil and gas reserves, giving it one of Asia's highest GDPs per capita, around $37,000. Here's a secret. Brunei's rainforests are among the oldest in the world, home to rare clouded leopards and untouched ecosystems. Yet its strict laws, like bans on alcohol and public dancing, keep tourists away. Only about 200,000 visit yearly. So why visa-free access? Brunei's stable economy and low crime rate make it a trusted and reliable partner. For the US, it's about diplomacy and trade. Brunei's energy exports align with American interests in Asia's markets. Plus, stronger ties could counter China's influence in the region. Speaking of small but mighty players, let's jet to an island that powers the world's tech. 9. Taiwan. From Brunei's jungles, we land in Taiwan, where microchips rule. Picture an island that powers your phone, laptop, and even your car. Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors, the tiny chips driving global tech. This island of 23 million isn't just a tech titan, it's a vibrant democracy with night markets serving stinky tofu and bubble tea. Did you know its Taroko Gorge is a marble canyon so stunning it rivals America's Grand Canyon, yet it's barely on tourists' radars? Despite China's claims, Taiwan's economy thrives, with a GDP of $800 billion. The US grants visa-free access because Taiwan is a critical ally. Trade between them hit $120 billion in 2023, and 600,000 Taiwanese visit the US yearly, spending billions. For America, it's a win. More tourism dollars and a signal to China that the US backs Taiwan. Now let's hop to a neighbor that's all about speed and style. 8. South Korea. Leaving Taiwan's tech hub, we arrive in South Korea, where high-speed internet feels like a human right. Ever wonder where your Samsung phone or Hyundai car comes from? South Korea, a nation of 51 million that's redefined innovation. From K-pop to kimchi, it's a cultural juggernaut. But here's a secret. South Korea's Jeju Island, with volcanic cliffs and turquoise seas, is called the Hawaii of Asia, but sees far fewer crowds. Its economy, worth $1.7 trillion, ranks among the world's top 15, and it's a military powerhouse with 28,000 US troops stationed there. Why no visas? The US-South Korea trade deal, worth $200 billion annually, thrives on trust. In 2023, 1.5 million Koreans visited the US, boosting its economy. For America, it's about cash and security against North Korea. Next, let's swing to a massive nation that's rewriting the global playbook. 7. India. From South Korea's sleek cities, we dive into India's vibrant chaos. Imagine a nation of 1.4 billion people where ancient temples stand next to tech hubs. India's economy is soaring, projected to hit $4 trillion by 2026, making it a global powerhouse. Did you know India's Thar Desert hosts a camel festival that's like Burning Man with saris and spices? Yet, it's also home to 40% of the world's IT outsourcing. Indian immigrants lead 12% of US startups, and 300,000 Indian students study in America, spending $8 billion yearly. This visa-free access is a bold move. The US gains by attracting more Indian tourists and students, fueling its economy. It also cements India as a counterweight to China, with trade ties growing fast. $190 billion in 2023. Ready for a sharp contrast? Let's zip to a tiny island that's pure wealth. 6. Singapore. India's bustle fades as we glide into Singapore. Think of a city-state so small it fits inside Rhode Island, yet it's richer than most countries. Singapore's skyline sparkles with futuristic towers, and its port handles 20% of global shipping. Do you know about the hidden gem? Its Haw Par Villa Park, with bizarre statues of mythical creatures, is a quirky nod to folklore. With a GDP per capita of $88,000, Singapore's 5.6 million people live in a near crime-free bubble. The US benefits big time here. Singapore is a financial hub, channeling $2 trillion in trade yearly, much of it tied to American firms. Visa-free travel is already in place via the Visa Waiver Program. It means more Singaporean investors and tourists who spent $1 billion in the US last year. It's a low-risk, high-reward deal. Now let's head to a land of tradition and tech. 5. Japan. From Singapore's futuristic vibe, we step into Japan, where samurai history meets robot cafes. This $4 trillion economy, the world's fourth largest, gave us Sony, Toyota, and sushi. Do you know that Japan's Aomori region grows half the world's apples, yet its orchards are barely known outside Asia? With 125 million people, Japan faces a shrinking population, but remains a tech leader, with bullet trains hitting 200 mph. The visa-free access strengthens a key alliance. Japan hosts 54,000 US troops, vital for Pacific security. In 2023, 2 million Japanese visited the US, dropping $20 billion. For America, it's about trade, tourism, and keeping China in check. Are you enjoying these hidden facts and global insights? Show some love. Smash that like button and subscribe for weekly dives into the stories shaping our world. Next, let's shift to a desert dynamo. 4. Israel. Japan's calm gives way to Israel, a desert nation smaller than New Jersey, but a tech giant. Picture a desert nation smaller than New Jersey, yet it's a tech and defense powerhouse. Israel's 9 million people produce innovations like Waze and the Iron Dome. Let me tell you a secret. Its Dead Sea is the lowest point on Earth, where you float effortlessly in salty water. Israel's startup scene rivals Silicon Valley, with 8,000 tech firms. Why visa-free? The US-Israel bond is ironclad, $4 billion in annual aid and $50 billion in trade. Israelis spent $2 billion in the US last year. For America, it's about tech collaboration and rewarding a loyal ally, even if it stirs Middle East tensions. Now let's soar to a gas-rich kingdom. 3. Qatar. From Israel's innovation, we land in Qatar, where skyscrapers sprout from sand. Imagine a country where skyscrapers rise from sand, and everyone's a millionaire, or close. Qatar, with 2.8 million people, has a GDP per capita of $82,000 thanks to gas reserves. Here is a hidden fact. Its Souk Waqif market feels like a time machine, with falcon sellers and spice stalls. Qatar's Al Jazeera shapes global news, and it hosted the 2022 World Cup. Visa-free access boosts US-Qatar ties. Qatar also hosts a major US airbase, crucial for Middle East ops. Its wealth funds US investments, $50 billion in 2023, and 100,000 Qataris visit yearly. The US gains military leverage and economic perks. Are you ready for island vibes? Let's head southeast. 2. Philippines. Qatar's deserts fade into the Philippines' 7,000 islands, where beaches glow like pearls so white they blind you. The Philippines, with 115 million people, is a tourism star, but it's also a call center king, handling 15% of global outsourcing. Here is a fun secret. Philippines' Taal volcano is the world's smallest active volcano, sitting in a lake. The country's economy is growing at 6% yearly, hitting $450 billion, and the US sees them as a rising partner. Filipinos spent $3 billion in the US in 2023, and 4 million Filipino Americans strengthen ties. Visa-free access boosts tourism and trade by $30 billion annually, while aligning the Philippines against China's South China Sea claims. Finally, let's wrap up with a cultural gem. 1. Malaysia. From Philippine shores, we arrive in Malaysia, where jungles, skyscrapers, and spicy laksa collide. That's pure magic. Malaysia's 33 million people blend Malay, Chinese, and Indian cultures. Its $400 billion economy thrives on tech and oil. Did you know? Malaysia's Batu Caves, with a giant golden statue, draw millions, yet its tech hub Cyberjaya is quietly building Asia's next Silicon Valley. The visa-free access is a US power move. Malaysia's trade with America, $80 billion in 2023, grows fast. 1 million Malaysians visit yearly, spending $5 billion. The US banks tourism dollars and a stable ally in a region where China's flexing muscle. These 10 nations aren't just getting a free pass. They're reshaping Asia's future. From Brunei's oil to Malaysia's tech, each brings something unique. For the US, it's a masterstroke, more tourists, trade, and allies to balance China's rise. In 2023, these countries sent 10 million visitors to the US, spending $50 billion. The visa-free access could double that, fueling jobs and growth. If this blew your mind, don't miss out. Subscribe now and hit like to keep up with the world's biggest stories. Share with friends to spark the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.